Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to this edition of Adrian College Baseball on ACTV. Sorry about the technical difficulties right there, but we are ready to roll now. Robbie Alexander alongside with me is my colleague, as always, Cody Alexander. Game one of this Friday afternoon doubleheader between the Adrian College Bulldogs and the Calvin Knights. Split yesterday's series, one game apiece. Game one, Calvin took that one 4-0. First time all year Adrian was shut out. And in game two, the Bulldogs were able to take that one by a score of 6-4 after scoring 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning. And Cody, what are the keys today for either team if they want to take this series?
I mean, both teams yesterday made a couple of untimely errors. They'll have to keep those to a minimum today, especially with the 2 pitchers on the mound today. For Adrian, we have, of course, the ace, Tommy Parsons, in 5 starts in his career against the Calvin Knights. He's got a 5-0 record, scattered 33 hits and 9 runs across those 33 1/3 inning of work, but only 4 of those are earned. For a 1.08 ERA, he also has 24 strikeouts to 2 walks in 2 complete games against Calvin.
We'll see if he can stifle this Knights lineup here. Game number one, about a minute past 4:20. Beautiful day here at Nicolay Field. We're racing the rain. And it's time to get underway. It's the first baseman, Quinn Heindick, who's going to get things started off. First pitch from Parsons. It's in there for a ball. It's 1-0, close on the outside. Second pitch. High pop-up on the left side of the infield, but that's going to go foul over the stands. Defensive alignment looking a little bit different from the last time you saw this team on ACTV. Now we have the normal left side of the infield. It's Hayes and Woods, but on the right side. Over on the left side, we have O'Keefe at shortstop and Justin McMahon over at third base. In the outfield from left to right, we've got Rainey, Sharing, and Richardson as always. And of course, calling the signs behind the plate, it's the big man, Frankie Resto. 1-2 pitch to Heindick. Bender in there, and he rings him up, tosses a chair to start this game, and there's one quick out for the Bulldogs.
To run through Parsons' stats on the year so far, he started 6 games. He's got a 5-0 record, 4 complete games. He's got 47 innings of work so far. A 1.72 ERA with that strikeout. He has 53 on the year to only 4 walks.
There's a big fastball in the outer half of the plate to the third baseman, Nate Dzwan.
He's also only given up 9 earned runs and leading several categories in the conference. He leads the MIAA in innings pitched, complete games, strikeouts, is tied for first with teammate Jordan Williams in wins and is second to Williams in ERA. He's also the active career wins leader across all divisions in the NCAA. He's got a 34-5 career record.
And we've said it before on this broadcast. You can say all the stats you want. The plain and simple fact is this guy's just a beast out on the mound.
Definitely showing he's got all 3 pitches working so far today. The nice hard fastball, the bender that's so far thrown these Knights hitters off balance.
His fastball rides outside and even things up at 2-2. Soft wind blowing in from right field, but like we said, gorgeous day here at Nicolay Field. By far the warmest one we've seen. The 2-2, big swing and a miss. He had him fishing there. Instead, he tosses him the chair, and there are 2 quick outs here in game number 1. So we're going to bring up the number 3 hitter. It's Rick Padilla, excuse me. Apparently I cannot write in the box score today. Looking to get things started. A little 2-out rally perhaps. As he takes a ball up high to start his at-bat.
Padilla, one of the top Calvin hitters so far this year. He leads the team with 32 hits, has a .360 average to his name.
He skies that one high on the left side. Resto giving chase, but he'll let it go out of play.
He has also driven in 7 runs, has scored 11 himself. and has knocked 6 doubles. Last week's MIAA Player of the Week, he went 6 for 7 on the 5th against Albion with a double, 2 RBI, and 2 runs.
Yesterday in game number 2, he had a sacrifice hit. There's a sharp ground ball scooped up by O'Keefe. Long throw, but he got him. 1-2-3 inning for the Bulldogs. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless. Keep it tuned right here to Bulldog Baseball on ACTV. Welcome back to Bulldog Baseball here on ACTV. Bottom of the first here in game number 1. Still scoreless after a 1-2-3 inning by Adrian. It's time for Calvin Knight's defense to get to work, and on the bump for them today is Trevor Van Dyne.
Van Dyne, one of the top pitchers for the Knights so far. He started 7 games. He's got a 3-2 record and 44 2/3 innings pitched. That leads the team. 38 strikeouts to 7 walks, owns a 3.22 ERA, has another complete game under his belt, also has a save so far this year.
Looks like a left fielder, Pena. Gonna close the fence right there, but we're ready to begin digging in for Adrian. It's their leadoff man, center fielder Zach Schering. Take a first pitch in there for a strike on the inner half. A high chopper to third base and over the head of Deswan. That's going to find its way into left field. Schering takes a hard turn into second as it ricochets off the wall. And it's a leadoff double for Zach Schering. Well, they call it the bounce house for a reason. Right over the head of Nate Deswan. Not much of a chance on that one.
No, just a bad break there. No way that he could get back in time to stop that, and then with the ricochet off that fence. It's a lucky but good way to start the day for the Dogs.
So I'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Gunnar Rainey, with an RBI opportunity. He skies that one into right field, but foul.
Rainey batting second this game, which is what we are accustomed to seeing, but bounced around the order in the first game. His father, Coach Rainey, had him batting in the 9 hole. Then he bumped him up to the, looks like the 6 hole in the second game.
It's on the right side. Past a diving Padilla into right field. Schering's going to score easily. And 2 batters into the game. Bulldogs have a 1-0 lead.
Just a nice piece of hitting there by the 2-hole hitter. Sneaks it by Padilla on the right side. Just like that, the Dogs are out front early here this afternoon.
That's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, Tristan Richardson. Now, we're used to seeing him in the 6th spot, but Coach Rainey has him batting in the power spot tonight.
Definitely one of the top Bulldog hitters so far this season. hitting .293, driven in 11 runs, but it's been fairly consistent at the plate.
He'll take a strike on the inner half. Brings things up at 1-1. Keeping gunner Rainey honest over at first base. The 1-1. Floats outside, 2-1. Lining up defensively behind Van Dyne, we have Heindick at first base, Padilla at second, Keene at shortstop, Dezwan at third. Left to right in the outfield, it's Pena, Stewart, and Redfield. And calling the signs behind the plate, it's number 19, Logan Marshall. A pickoff throw by Van Dyne, but safe at first is Rainey. Two balls, two strikes, still no one out. The pitch. Hard ground ball through the hole. That's going to be a base hit. Rainey's going to make the turn. He's headed for third. The throw from Redfield's cut off. Single by Richardson, and the Bulldogs have runners on the corner. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
Nice job early so far today. Adrian just wearing out that right side of the diamond. First baseman Heindick playing fairly close to the bag with Rainey there. If he had been playing in normal position, probably would have just been a routine ground ball.
So it's the cleanup man now, Hunter Hayes, with a big 3-run home run in game 2 yesterday, but he's fooled by that off speed. It's 0-1. Ball outside, 1-1. Now the Bulldogs shut out in game number 1, as we said earlier. How do you think that's affecting them in not only yesterday afternoon's second game, but to start the game today?
Well, I mean, they, in simple terms, were dominated by the Calvin pitcher, Jonathan Keene. It was the first time that, like you said, that they'd been shut out all year. Keene threw a 2-hit shutout. He struck out 8 Bulldogs and allowed only 2 walks. So as good as the Bulldogs offense is, they just couldn't get anything started against Keene.
2-1 to Hayes. Outside, 3-1, and Van Dyne in danger of loading the bases. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. And early here in game number 1, we have 4 waffles in the 3-way toaster. It's the second baseman, Brady Wood, looking for that continental breakfast.
Wood hitting .377 so far on the year, which is 3rd in the MIAA. Driven in 7 runs and scored 14.
He'll take a breaking ball strike on the outside. Still nobody out for Adrian College. Van Dyne resets on the mound. That Bulldog dugout already fired up after this quick start. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Now it's a warm day out. You think that spread's going to get a little too hot, or you think it's going to be a nice, delicious waffle continental breakfast?
I mean, you never want your waffles to get too cold out there.
Bit of a warm. Bounces up over the head of Marshall. Rainey thought about it. He'll go back to third. It's 2-1. A nice job there by Marshall to at least get a glove on it. Van Dyne gets his sign. The pitch. Outside, 3-1. Heindick playing in over at first base. Other than that, rest of the infield in double play depth, in the outfield pretty far back, playing towards the wall. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball foul down the left side. It's 3-2.
I think Calvin would have Deswan playing in, at least even with the bag, no out still in the first. You think they'd want to cut the runner off at home, but he's playing about 3 steps behind third base right now.
We'll see if that plays out to their advantage. The 3-2, flare into right field. Redfield giving chase towards the line. That's going to get down fair. Rainey's going to score easily. That's going to bring Richardson in from second. Hayes headed to third. The throw home. High in, not in time. That was Hayes on the slide home. Bases clearing triple for Brady Wood in the Continental. Breakfast has been made. 4-0 Adrian College.
Another hit to right field. And a great read by Hayes at first was on Richardson's tail the entire trip around the bases.
These guys were going so fast, I lost track of who was going third and who was going home, but nonetheless, Bulldogs start with a bang here in the first inning. It's going to bring up the third baseman, Justin McMahon, looking to keep this momentum going. Still nobody out. McMahon bends out of the way, but it finds the inner black for strike one.
That ball almost jumped over the fence down there. Would have definitely been a better break for the Knights if that happened, but able to stay in play.
McMahon grounds that one to Padilla. He'll get the out. Wood had a hold at third as the infield was shaded in. They'll stay that way with still only one out. And it's the designated hitter, Corey Mazur, up to bat. Bender high for ball one. Van Dyne making sure that's where he missed and not inside. He'll deliver the second pitch. Another bender, but this time it's low and it's 2-0.
Mazur hitting .308 on the year. Driven in 2 runs, has a home run to his name, also a triple and a double.
He takes a big cut there. Manages to get a piece of it, but it's just strike one.
Definitely big power at the plate in his second career at bat as a freshman. Mazur actually hit a grand slam.
It's a good way to start your college career right there. Pitch from Van Dyne. Flared hard down the left field line, but foul towards 223.
Like another breaking ball that Mazur was all over. Just too far out in front of that one.
The 2-2. Another flare. This one into the parking lot on the right side. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch. Off speed, but misses outside. 3-2.
Middle of the infield for the Knights, playing in, trying to cut off Wood if he decides to go home.
And so that's another foul ball by Mazur. Three-2 from Van Dyne. Fouled straight back. No flinches in the booth from what I could tell. Today's producer Olivia was not paying attention. So I say we give her a strike just for that fact. She's gasping. I say we still give her the strike. Going inside, Van Dyne disagrees. Coach Reipel is going to have to come out as Van Dyne not happy about that call. He thought it was strike 3.
There's going to be a meeting at the mound. A little fuel for the Adrian bench. Not the start that Van Dyne wanted, especially with Parsons on the bump for Adrian. You don't want to give up too many runs because you don't know how many runs you're going to get back in return. But this is a situation where you're going to have to keep your emotions in check. You definitely don't want to show anything out there.
Well, it's a battle for first place. Already a lot of tenseness out there. Any way you can get to the other team, you're going to do it. And like you said, that Bulldog dugout is amplified right now. I think everybody is. I just heard some of the Calvin fans. They're not very happy with the call. But a good job by Coach John Reipel making sure that that situation didn't escalate, calming his players down. So runners on first and third, only one out here in the bottom of the first inning. That's going to bring up the catcher, Frankie Resto, with a RBI opportunity. Infield back to double play depth. Van Dyne just looking to get out of this first inning with the least amount of damage he can. Delayed steal by Major. They're going to cut off the throw. But Wood will hold that third, and Frankie now has 2 runners in scoring position and a chance to keep breaking this game open. Now, Cody, I know you were pretty good at that in high school. What is the art to a delayed steal?
Well, I think that was a great call by the Dogs right there. Van Dyne definitely a little shaken out there, trying to bear down and focus on the hitter. So once you see that his attention is not on you, you definitely just want to take off.
2 quick strikes on Frank Resto, and he's fishing for the third one. He'll strike out. There are now 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Sean O'Keefe. Trying not to leave these runners stranded out there. He'll take an off speed in there for strike 1. Pitch from Van Dyne. A little awkward swing, chopper to first base, easily fielded by Heindick. I'll end the inning with out number 3, but not before the Bulldogs score 4 quick runs, capped off by the 3-run triple by Brady Wood. We head to the top of the second inning, 4-0. Keep it tuned right here to MIAA baseball action on ACTV. Welcome back to ACTV, top of the second inning, 4-0 Bulldogs. And it's the ace, Tommy Parsons, getting back to work. Leading off for the Calvin Knights, it's the 4-hitter, Jonathan Keene. First pitch from Parsons. Fouled back for strike one.
Now, as we said earlier, Keene was the winner in game one yesterday with the 2-hit shutout, but can also handle it with the stick. It's only hitting .230 on the year, but has driven in 15 runs, hit 3 out of the park.
And it's a high pop-up on the infield. O'Keefe calling for it. And it'll settle in his glove for out number one. So up now for the Knights, it's number 10 left fielder Ryan Pena.
That is something that we will have to watch out for today. The Knights have 8 home runs on the year, and they've got a .7 ground out to fly out ratio, which means they really like to put the ball in the air.
That one a grounder, foul down the third base line.
Pena had a solo home run in the first game yesterday. Also added a 2-run double in the second game, finished with 2 doubles in that game.
Big cut there. It's 0-2. Yeah, the Calvin Bats, we had a chance to watch some of the game yesterday after we got out of class, and they looked good in that first game. Payoff pitch from Parsons, tosses him to the chair. Number 3 of the day, and they're 2 down here in the top of the second inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Bo Redfield. Junior out of Cedar Springs. That one, a pop-up in the air. That's going to stay in the infield, this time being called off by Wood, and it'll settle in his glove for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Bulldogs. Head to the top or bottom of the second, 4-0. Keep tuned right here to Adrian College Baseball on ACTV. Bottom of the second inning here at Nicolay Field, 4-0 Adrian College. We're back to the top of the Bulldog lineup. It's center fielder Zach Schering, who doubled over the head of the third baseman Dezwan to lead things off. There's an off-speed pitch in there for strike one. It's Trevor Van Dyne looking for a little bit of a better inning than the first.
A lot of breaking balls so far today by Van Dyne.
There's another one there that Schering will swing right through quickly, 0-2. Payoff pitch from Van Dyne. Hangs outside, 1-2. And he rings him up on the outside corner. Strike 3, and there's 1 down to start the bottom of the second.
Interesting pitch sequence there by Van Dyne. Got ahead quickly with 2 breaking balls and then finished him off with a fastball. We'll see if he keeps pitching backwards to the Adrian this inning.
And he starts him off right there with a breaking ball, just like you hinted at. Quickly a strike on the left fielder, Gunnar Rainey. High chopper, Deswan fields it, throw to first in time. 2 up, 2 down. I'll bring up the right fielder, Tristan Richardson. Had a single his first time up, later came around to score on that RBI triple. Another off speed, this one way outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Big hack there, even at 1. Van Dyne working a little quicker this inning too. And he had him fooled with that off speed, 1 and 2.
Well, if Van Dyne keeps pitching in these sequences with a lot of breaking balls, the Adrian hitters are just going to have to go back to what they did the first inning. And that is just wait back and try to utilize the other part, try not to pull everything. Especially with Van Dyne locating his curveballs pretty well so far today. If he keeps throwing first pitch, they should just be sitting on it.
And he throws third pitch right there. It's a strikeout to Richardson. And after a big first inning, the Bulldogs go down in order. We'll head to the top of the third inning. 4-0 Adrian College. Keep tuned right here to ACTV. Welcome back to this edition of Adrian College Baseball on ACTV. Top of the third, 4-0 Adrian College over second place Calvin Knights. As Tommy Parsons gets back to work. 7-8-9 due up for the Knights, starting with the catcher Logan Marshall. He goes fishing on that outside fastball for strike 1. That one bounces in the turf and back to the backstop for ball 1. 1-1 pitch from Parsons. High fastball swinging through it. It's 1-2.
Marshall hitting .220 on the year. Has scored 7 runs, driven in 6.
Payoff pitch. Manages to get a bat on that curveball and slaps it foul. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch to Marshall. Ground ball through the left side hole. It's a base hit. Knights have their first runner on board of the afternoon. Center fielder Ryan Stewart digging into the box now. Third baseman Justin McMahon shaded in against the bunt. First pitch. Ground ball, high chopper. O'Keefe charging. Only one play at first, and he'll get it for out number 1. Marshall will move up to second base. I'll bring up the designated hitter. It's Jeremy Clark. First pitch. Big hack there as he stumbles around in the box for strike 1. Now, I just heard somebody on the bench say Jer Bear. Do you think he would appreciate that if we said it on the air? Or do we think we should leave that to his teammates?
I think we'll leave it to his teammates.
It's a good nickname. Nothing to be ashamed of right there. Foul ball off the mask of Resto, but he's okay. Clark quickly in the hole, 0-2.
Like Stewart was a little late on those 2 fastballs. We'll see if they want to attack him with some more hard heat, or see if they can get him out in front of something soft. Definitely don't want to speed his bat up.
The 0-2. And he's caught looking like a house on the side of the road. Another chair toss for Parsons. 4 on the day, and there are now 2 down here in the top of the 3rd inning. We'll head back to the top of the Calvin lineup. It's the first baseman Quinn Heindick, struck out looking to start the game.
A lot of interesting names on this Calvin team.
Getting a little tongue-tied this afternoon. First pitch to Heindick. High, ball 1. Fly ball into left field. Rainey has it measured. Will make the catch for out number 3. Knights get a man aboard but can't drive him in, and we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 4-0 Adrian College. Keep it tuned right here to Bulldog Baseball on ACTV. Four, 5, 6 due up for Adrian College to start the bottom of the 3rd inning. 4-0 here in game number 1 of the afternoon, and it's first baseman Hunter Hayes digging in to lead things off. Here's the first pitch. Hayes will watch all the way for strike one at the knees.
Another off-speed pitch for the first of the at-bat.
That one misses outside, and it's even at 1. Now, Trevor Van Dyne gave up 4 quick runs to start the game in the first inning. Ever since then, he's pretty much locked it down and has had these Bulldogs fooled with his off-speed. Hayes hits that one off the end of the bat, 1-2.
Definitely going to it a lot more since that first half of the bottom of the first. The Bulldogs pretty much had his fastball timed up, so definitely doing a nice job of not only getting his breaking ball over for strikes, but mixing in his fastball enough to keep him off balance.
It's a 2-2. Has him fooled with that curveball. Ugly swing right there, and it's out number 1. I'll bring up the second baseman, Brady Wood. Big bases clearing triple, his first at bat. Shows bunt, but will take a ball outside, and I think it's safe to say that he is wearing the Master Chef hat today so far.
Trying to overtake Hunter Hayes for that title.
We all appreciate the waffles up in the booth. He takes that curveball inner half of the black. It's 1-1. From Van Dyne. Pops that one up on the right side of the infield. Heindick ranges over in foul territory, but will make the catch for out number 2. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Justin McMahon. Round out to second base his last time up. First pitch from Van Dyne. Breaking ball low. Strike 1. So McMahon swings through it. That one just misses outside for a ball, 1-1.
McMahon grounded out to the second baseman his first time up.
Another big cut there, 1-2.
Looks like he's trying to get around the ball. That ball on the outer half of the plate. Big gap down the left field line. We'll see if he tries to hit it.
Now on Tuesday in Olivet, yes, Tuesday. They were supposed to play Monday. Snow pushed the rest of that series to Tuesday. He hit a 3-run home run in one of those games.
McMahon was getting the starts at second base to start the year, but yesterday and again today he's getting the start at third.
Another swing through, another breaking ball by Van Dyne. For the second inning in a row, the Bulldogs go 1, 2, 3. That's strikeout number 4 for Trevor. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning. Still 4-0 Adrian College. We're running rampant with the 4s right now. Nonetheless, keep it tuned right here to ACTV. 2, 3, 4 due up for the Calvin Knights, starting with third baseman Nate Deswan. Struck out his first time up. As Tommy Parsons gets back to work. Calm, cool, and collective. First pitch from Parsons. It's just a bit outside for ball one. Swings through that one, gets a piece of it, but strike. One ball, one strike, the pitch. Ground ball, foul on the first base side.
Got some hands down there in the first base's coach's box.
I was hoping I was going to clarify who exactly was in the coach's box, but we'll just say, good job, coach. The 1-2 from Parsons. Swings through that one, and another chair toss this afternoon. Number 5 on the day, and it's out number 1. So up now is the second baseman, Rick Padilla. Grounded out to O'Keefe at shortstop his first time up. He'll snag that one foul.
Seen a lot of swings by the Knights so far today, as is to be expected. Only 51 walks on the year as a team. And with Parsons on the mound, you're not going to get a lot of those right now.
As he swings through that strike. It's quickly 0-2. Interesting to see how different teams have different strategies at the plates. Payoff pitch. High pop-up on the right side. Richardson running in, but it's going to be Wood who will take it for out number 2. So bring up the cleanup hitter. It's the shortstop, Jonathan Keene. Popped out to the shortstop his first time up. First pitch. Strike on the outside, half, 0-1. Oh, 1 to Keene. Outside, 1-1. Should he keep the inning going, that would bring up the left fielder, Ryan Pena. Swing there. It's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Off the mask of Frankie again. That's 2 in the game so far.
That's why they're called the tools of ignorance. Or as Jim Price in the Tigers radio booth calls them, the tools of intelligence.
I think Frankie might appreciate that second one a little bit more.
Put that one on the resume.
I believe that would get Frankie any job he applied for.
It's a hot ticket quality of people in the job market, I hear.
He has him fooled on the off speed there. Tosses him another chair. And master carpenter Tommy Parsons, scoreless through 4 innings of work. Hit to the bottom of the 4th inning, 4-0. Don't you touch that mouse. We'll be right back with more baseball on ACTV. Seven, 8, 9 due up for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the fourth inning, 4-0. It's designated hitter Corey Major lead things off. Checks his swing there. He gets a piece of the pitch anyways, 0-1. It's the first pitch fastball we've seen from Van Dyne since the first inning. He goes back to the curveball right there, but it misses outside. Small crowd out on the center field hill.
Definitely the best weather we've had so far this year.
No complaints from us up in the booth as Major hits that one down the right field line. Just foul.
Don't have to wear pea coats or be all bundled up in the press box.
No, my nose isn't constantly dripping snot.
I don't think
very nice.
I think the viewers needed to know about that.
Viewers did not know about that until now, but in the interest of full disclosure, it was cold these first couple of series. Well, when we arrived today, the windows were open. It was very nice. And he gets him looking right there on the outside corner. Strike 3 and 1 down.
6 strikeouts so far for Van Dyne.
Really buckled down after those first couple of Bulldog batters. Bring up the catcher, Frankie Resto. Struck out his first time up. We'll watch a breaking ball in there for strike 1. That one stays high for ball 1. Now, if only the clouds were gone, it would make it a perfect afternoon. Not all of them, just a few of them. There's a line drive into left field, a base hit. 1 out single by Frank Resto here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Shortstop Sean O'Keefe due up.
The first base runner for the Bulldogs since Mazur walked all the way back in the 4th. That was 9 straight retired for Van Dyne up until that point.
He hits a fastball strike. So O'Keefe shows bunt briefly. Yeah, nice clean single there by Frankie. Pitch from Van Dyne at the knees, 0-2.
Now Resto has not attempted a stolen base so far this year, but he has a home run and a triple, so we've learned that with the Adrian catcher, anything is possible.
Might as well round out the box scores. O'Keefe can't check his swing there. Another strikeout for Van Dyne there, 2 down. Back to the top of the Adrian College order. It's center fielder Zach Schering. 1 for 2 today with a double and struck out looking his last time up. First pitch, outside, 1-0. hits the outside corner, 1-1.
We'll see if the Bulldog hitters change their approach at the plate, with Van Dyne spinning a lot more breaking balls up there the last few innings.
That one spins straight into the turf, 2-1.
Conversely, we'll see if Van Dyne changes the approach that he's had the last few innings, if he's going to start throwing a few more first pitch fastballs or just stay with his breaking ball primarily.
Seems like he's thrown a few more fastballs this inning in particular. So pop-up fly ball into left field, straight into the glove of Pena for out number 3. Bulldogs get a man aboard but can't bring him in. We head to the top of the 5th inning. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Calvin Knights. Keep it tuned right here to MIAA baseball action on HCTV. Left fielder Ryan Pena digging in to start things here in the top of the 5th inning, 4-0 Adrian College. It's been a quick game so far. Four quick runs, there we go, scored by the Bulldogs in the 1st inning. Other than that, scoreless throughout the rest of the game so far. There's a bunt down the 3rd base line. McMahon charging. Hopes it goes foul, but it's a perfect bunt there by Ryan Pena to lead off the inning.
Smart play there by the Calvin left fielder. Not only that, but able to execute it. McMahon playing about 5 steps behind third. He drops it right down the line. Nice job.
I think McMahon learned his lesson right there, as now he's shaded on the infield grass. It's the right fielder, Bo Redfield, up to bat. Pickoff move by Parsons. Pena back in time. There's going to have to be careful over at first base. Parsons known for his sneaky pickoff move. Another bunt, this one straight to Parsons. He'll go to first with this one for out number 1. The Redfield does his job and moves the runner up. So up now is the catcher Logan Marshall. Singled his first time up. Now has a runner in scoring position with only 1 out. First pitch from Parsons. Fastball high, 1-0. Slapped down the right field line, but foul. Now, to this point, Marshall's single, the only hit so far for the Knights. Besides the one that was hit to start this inning. Apparently I can't read box scores today.
I think it's just your handwriting.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Big cut there. It's 1-2. Well, you filled out my first box score, but you refused to fill out my second one, which is the one I'm trying to read right now.
I don't think I refused. I think you were done setting up, so you've complained about my handwriting before. I figured I'd just let you do you.
Apparently none of us have good handwriting. Liv, do you have good handwriting? She says she has good handwriting. I'm going to have you fill out my box score for game 2. She shakes her head no. No respect. No respect for your elders. Olivia, a freshman here at Adrian College. All the way from Canada. Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. Blocking the turf by Frankie, and Pena will have to hold up at second base.
This Calvin hitter's definitely looking pull happy so far today. And because of that, Parsons looks like he's favoring that outside part of the plate, looking to get them to possibly roll over one or just swing through it.
Working to his favor so far. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Checks the runner, the pitch to Marshall. Rings him up, looking on the outside corner. Another chair tossed. There are now 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Center fielder Ryan Stewart is going to try to bring that run in from second base. 2 outs now. Pitch from Parsons. Big bender in there for strike 1. Stewart grounded out to the shortstop his first time up back in the 2nd inning. The 0-1 fouled into the parking lot. 0-2.
What do you think he's going to do here, Robbie? You think he's going to come back with a fastball? Or try to get him to chase with a breaking ball down and away, maybe waste one?
What was that? That was a fastball he just threw, right? It was a little late on it. I think he's going to go back with the fastball.
Well, we'll see if you're right.
The 0-2. So Bender rides in and almost hits him. 1-2. Two and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second, the pitch. And flares that one right into the glove of third baseman Justin McMahon to end the inning. Calvin gets a man on board but can't bring him in. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, still scoreless. Excuse me, 0-4. I was getting ahead of myself there. We're just going to go to a break right now. It's 4-0 Adrian College. Keep it tuned right here to Adrian College Baseball on ACTV. 2, 3, 4 due up for the Bulldogs. 4-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Left fielder Gunnar Rainey as he'll watch strike 1 go by. Now I messed up going into the break. I said still scoreless. Actually 4-0. Part of that was just a brain fart. Another part of that, we have not seen the Bulldogs score a lot of runs in game 1s this year at home.
No, put on quick. The first 4 hitters actually make up the entirety of the runs scored in this game.
Rainey bends out of the way, but it's a strike nonetheless. 1-2.
Since then, Van Dyne's been almost unhittable. He's only given up 1 single since then.
Rainey hits that one into left field, make it 2 singles, and the leadoff man is aboard. Up now for the Bulldogs, it's the right fielder, Tristan Richardson. A single and a strikeout to his name so far, also scored a run. Shows bunt, tries to push it down the left third base line. It's going to roll foul. Soft breeze still blowing in from right field. Richardson calls time. Rainey 5 steps off of first base. The 0-1. Little flare into left field, and that's going to get down the line for a base hit and maybe even more. Rainey off for third, Richardson off for second, all the way to the wall. Rainey's going to try to come home. Here's the throw. He'll hold it. RBI double by Tristan Richardson, and it is 5-0 Adrian College.
That's exactly what the Bulldogs have to do. We saw the success back in the first inning with that string of hits all the other way except for Richardson's single. But that time the right fielder decided to go the other way with a big double off the wall, and that on another run for Adrian.
Couldn't make a hit much prettier than that, even if he tried to do it in a laboratory. It's a foul ball by Hunter Hayes to start his at-bat.
Olivia didn't look too amused by that one, Robbie.
I was pretty proud of myself. I think that's all that matters. Hayes struck out his last time up, looking to drive this run in. So he'll take a fastball. Strike 2. Van Dyne checks Richardson. There's a ball low as he quickens the tempo there. Corner infielders playing back. The 1-2 outside pitch that Hayes tries to pull, and it will roll foul.
Nice job to stay alive there.
One ball, 2 strikes, still nobody out for the Bulldogs. Pitch from Van Dyne. Outside, 2-2. Adrian College 7 hits here in the first 5 innings of game number 1. That one's down the line into the glove of Deswan. He'll have a long throw, but a nice pick by Heindick. And Hayes is out at first. Richardson will move up to third, but a nice play on both ends there.
Yeah, a little chopper right up the line. And Zwan with the strong one hopper. And then you had Richardson down there at second with the presence of mind to move up on that play.
So 1 down It's going to bring up the second baseman, Brady Wood. So he'll watch a curveball go inside for a ball. Wood had the big 3-run triple back in the first inning, popped out to the first baseman, Heindick, his last time up. That one's going to be a chopper down the line, but foul. Just over the bag, but just a little too far foul.
It's not where it lands past the bag, it's where it goes over.
I know the Adrian dugout was not very happy with the call. The home plate umpire Joshua Sauter was right on top of it. Infield in for the Knights. The 1-1 pitch. High fly ball in the shallow left field. Bermuda Triangle forming. Pena in to make the catch. It's not deep enough for Richardson to score. There's now 2 outs. One more chance for the Bulldogs to drive in this run here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's third baseman Justin McMahon who's going to try to do just that. McMahon 0 for 2 today so far, a strikeout and a ground out. Potential 6th run 90 feet away. I'll watch a fastball outside for ball 1. Pitch from Van Dyne. Low, 2-0. Well, and finds the inner half of the plate, 2-1. Now, should he keep the inning going, that would bring up the designated hitter, Corey Major. The 2-1. Low and outside, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. There's a ground ball over to Padilla at second base. Easy out number 3. Bulldogs leave a man on third, but also score 1 run. And the double by Tristan Richardson will head to the top of the 6th inning, 5-0 Adrian College. Keep tuned right here to MIAA baseball action on ACTV. Welcome back to ACTV Game 1 of this Friday doubleheader. Adrian College with a 5-0 lead. Just a quick note, defensive change for the Bulldogs. Hunter Hayes out of the game, in place. It's number 14, Nick Roush. Again, Nick Roush now in at first base. Fastball misses to the designated hitter, Jeremy Clark, for ball 1. Knights 2 hits on the day so far, looking for number 3. And O'Keefe might stop it there. Long throw, but not anywhere close to the bag. Mark it down, an infield single for Jeremy Clark.
It's a nice stop in the hole, but absolutely no mustard on that throw.
No, kind of fizzled out somewhere between first and second base. Did it even make it to first base, or did it kind of
rolled
stopped?
there?
Yeah. No danger of rolling to the fence, though. Hard play to make. I mean, we're not making fun of O'Keefe. Great stop. And I think it'd have to be a web gem right there. Is that still a thing? Does ESPN still do web gems?
I'll be honest, I'm not a big ESPN guy anymore. Once they made MLB Network, that's where all my attention went to.
Well, if they don't, we'll bring it back here. A near web gem by O'Keefe. But either way, Knights have a runner on first with nobody out. We're back to the top of the lineup. It's Quinn Heindick. The fastball high to start his at-bat. Parsons checks his man at first. The pitch. Fly ball. It's going to stay in the infield, though, as McMahon backs into foul territory and makes the catch for out number 1. Clark will have to hold at first base. So up now for Calvin, it's the third baseman, Nate Deswan. 0 for 2 so far with 2 strikeouts.
That was the 5th out made in the air by Calvin in this game, compared to only 3 on the ground, with one of those being a sac bunt.
Well, you mentioned earlier in the game that they're a fly ball team. Another fastball misses by Parsons, 1-0. A lot of first pitch fastballs, but he's not been able to locate them for strikes so far this game. Now, it hasn't affected him. Is Calvin unable to score yet, but something interesting, you don't see Parsons start with a lot of first pitch balls.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of 1-0 counts, but quickly coming back. A lot of those 1-0 counts turned to 1-1 and then 1-2.
Saw right there, fastball this time, a strike. It's 1-1. One pitch from Parsons. Big cut there by Deswan, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 6th inning, 5-0 Adrian. Pickoff throw, and he gets him at first base. And we talked about it the last inning. You can't sleep on Tommy Parsons. Another pickoff, first one of the game.
That was the first, I think, first throw over in this at bat. And Clark just caught sleeping over there.
So 2 down now for the Knights, 1-2 on Deswan. The pitch from Parsons. That one looked like it hit him on the knee. Bounced off the turf first is what home plate umpire Sauter is saying.
Yeah, no objection by Deswan.
It's 2-2. The pitch. Foul tip. Frankie not able to squeeze it. Nate Deswan stays alive. Resto clearly frustrated with himself, and Cody, you're shaking your head a little bit.
I mean, I don't want to say that catching foul tips is luck, but there is some involved in that. But Frankie definitely feels that that is one that he should have put away.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch. It's a line drive past a diving Roush at first for a base hit. Deswan's going to head for second. The throw in, not handled by O'Keefe. It's a 2-out double there by Deswan.
Yeah, hard hit by the Calvin third baseman. Looked like Roush, who's first inning here at first base, a little slow on his first step. Strong throw from Richardson over and right, but just a little offline, and O'Keefe, like Robbie said, unable to handle it.
So looking to drive in a 2-out run here. It's the second baseman, Rick Padilla. 0 for 2 so far, has a ground out. Popped out to the second baseman his last time up. Parsons tries to work out of a little bit of a mini jam, and he has him fooled right there for strike one.
Looks like a changeup there by Parsons. And Padilla way out in front of that one.
A 1 pitch to Padilla. Bender in there for strike two. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Payoff pitch from Parsons. There's a flare into right field, but Richardson takes a couple steps in for the final out. Calvin will leave a man on base, and we'll head to the bottom of inning number 6. It's 5-0. Be tuned right here to your home for all Adrian College athletics. It's Adrian College TV. Welcome back. Bottom of inning number 6, 5-0 Adrian College. A foul ball there by the designated hitter, Corey Major, to start his at-bat. Defensive change for Calvin. It's a new catcher, number 16, Solomon Gray. High chopper, Deswan has it. Going to be a long throw, though. A nice stretch by Heinrich. Out number 1, and once again, the corners looking mighty fine today for Calvin.
Another nice play up the line for Deswan. We saw him do that earlier in the game. He just did it again for another out.
Catcher Frankie Resto digging in. 1 for 2 so far today. Has a strikeout, singled his last time up. A 1-0 from Van Dyne. In there, 1-1. The 1-1. Tried to pull that one, but instead rolls it foul. 1-2. The 1-2. Curveball in there. Fouled back for strike 2 still.
Surprised we haven't seen a lot of Adrian hitters move up in the box since the first inning, especially with the increase in the number of breaking balls that Van Dyne has thrown. Still a lot of them standing relatively far back in the box.
Another foul ball by Frankie. This one straight into the net. I didn't flinch. Did you flinch?
I did not flinch.
Liv, did you flinch? She's a hockey player. It's going to be hard to make her flinch. 1-2 on Frankie. And something I've noticed this inning is Van Dyne has really slowed his pace down. To a knee on that swing for strike 3. 2 down now.
It was a little tighter breaking ball than we've seen from Van Dyne today.
You heard PA announcer Dave Van Giesen say right there, it's the shortstop, Sean O'Keefe. Gonna try to get a 2-out rally started here, so he'll take a ball outside. Swing was a little Adrian Beltre-esque.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
He's not able to connect on it. That fastball finds the inner black. It's 1-1. Pitch from Van Dyne. Just low, 2-1. Two one. Ground ball. Keene has it backhanded. The throw over to first. 1-2-3 inning for the Calvin Knights as Van Dyne heads back to the dugout. Last call for Calvin. Head to the top of the 7th inning, 5-0. Keep it tuned right here to ACTV. Time to pay the piper if you're the Calvin Knights. Top of the 7th inning, 5-0 Bulldogs. And they have a tough task ahead of them as master carpenter Tommy Parsons retakes the mound, looking for another complete game.
He's got 7 strikeouts on the day so far.
A man who ended the bottom of the 6th, shortstop Jonathan Keene, looking to crack the Tommy Parsons code. First pitch, fouled back for strike 1. McMahon drawn in a little bit at third base, not quite to the turf. Other than that, everybody about normal depth. That fastball just not able to paint the corner. It's 1-1. Pitch to Keene. Ground ball through the left side hole. And the leadoff man is aboard for the Knights. It's going to bring up the left fielder, Ryan Pena. Singled his last time up. So as a strikeout to his name so far. Well, if that's Calvin, that's exactly what you want to do. You're going to Not going to be able, in very rare cases maybe, but you're not going to be able to just start slamming Parsons. So being able to just put clean singles like that, exactly what you want to see if you're Coach Reipel.
Keene is 3 for 4 in steal attempts this year. Don't think they'll send him now with the 5-run deficit, but he'll still have to watch out for Parsons.
Pickoff throw, but time was called. Four hits now on the day for Calvin. Pena trying to make it number 5. The 0-1. Breaking ball. A little bit high for a ball. Keene gets his lead off of first base. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Another one through the left side hole. Just like that, Calvin has something cooking. Runners on first and second with nobody out.
Looks like Parsons has lost a little bit on his fastball in the 7th inning. So what would be swings and misses are now just a little slow enough. Calvin's still a little far out in front, but able to find that left side hole.
So digging into the batter's box, right fielder Bo Redfield. Single his last time up. He's also popped out to the second baseman. He's looking to keep the train rolling as he takes a strike right there to start his at-bat. Hit number 5 on the day for Calvin. The 0-1 pitch from Parsons. Fouled to the back 40. It's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball. McMahon will flip to second for 1. Relay. Instead, Brady will hold it. Bulldogs getting out. Calvin with runners in the corners.
Surprised McMahon just didn't tag the runner heading to third. That would have been Keene. Instead decides to opt for the force at second.
May have thought they had a better chance at a double play, but instead folded just a little too slowly for the Bulldogs.
I mean, double play still in order, and that run down at third is not a make or break run. So regardless of, you still got an out. That's the big thing in this.
Playing the small ball right here in the top of the 7th inning. Batting now for Calvin, it's the catcher Logan Marshall. Here's the first pitch. Strike at the knees, 0-1. Parsons keeping the game tempo in his control. The 0-1. Marshall goes fishing on that pitch in the turf. It's 0-2. Keene on third base, Redfield on first. Payoff pitch. And another chair tossed by Parsons. Make it 8 on the day. There are now 2 down, and Calvin down to their final out.
Ladies and gentlemen, now who's batting for Calvin is number 7, Kyle House.
Pinch hitter now for Calvin. It's number 7, Kyle Houts. Looking to keep this game alive. He's batting in place of the center fielder, Ryan Stewart. First pitch. Big cut there, 0-1. Infield back for the Bulldogs, playing for that final out. Here's the pitch. Bender hangs high, 1-1. Now if he keeps this inning going, there's another pinch hitter on deck. It's number 25, Mike Cool. There's the 1-1. Another big cut there, but he swings right through the fastball. It's 1-2. Calvin down to their final strike. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 5-0 Adrian College. The pitch. Swings through it, but Frankie can't hold on to it. That's going to roll all the way to the backstop. And Houts will hit the bag. Calvin scores their first run of the game, 5-1. They stay alive on the RBI by pinch hitter Kyle Houts.
It's tough there. What should have been the last out of the game, and Resto just unable to hand that breaking ball on the outer half of the plate.
So runners on first and second. And as we mentioned beforehand, number 25, Mike Cool, now batting for the designated hitter, Jeremy Clark. Here's the first pitch. Outside, Black for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch from Parsons. Hits the Black again, quickly 0-2. Redfield on second base, Houts on first. Payoff pitch from Parsons, runners going, and it's a foul ball.
Nice job by Cool. Able to waste that down and away breaking ball.
We will reset and start all over again. Parsons gets his sign from Resto, checks his man at second. The 0-2, fouled straight back into the netting. Cool stays alive, and so do I in the Flinch game.
Roush not holding the runner at first. McMahon playing deep at third. We'll see if Calvin wants to send the runners again here.
Parsons taking his time. Cool will call time. We've seen that a lot this afternoon so far. Those batters calling time right before the pitcher's about to throw the ball.
Home plate umpire Soudard definitely giving the batters a little leeway in this game in terms of getting time called.
Snap throw to second, but Redfield back in time. The 0-2, runners going, and he has him swinging through that off speed, tosses him the 9th chair of the afternoon. And master carpenter Tommy Parsons secures game number 1. Adrian takes it by a score of 5-1. Cody, what did you see here in the first game?
Definitely more dominance on the part of Parsons as 10 strikeouts bring his career wins total to 35. And Calvin, besides those 4 runs within the first 5 batters of the first innings, pretty much played shut-down baseball. Van Dyne came back, changed his approach, mixed in a lot more breaking balls, kept the Bulldog hitters off balance. But a nice played game on both sides.
You can see here why these teams are number 1 and 2 in the MIAA standings. With that win, Adrian now has a 2-1 advantage in this 4-game series. Game number 2 will be at 6:20, just confirmed. So will not be on this stream. If you stay on the Adrian Bulldogs channel, that link is up there. We'll be back in about 20 minutes for game number 2. Parsons on the mound. You always know it's going to be a quick game. This one in under 2 hours. And we'll see if the Bulldogs can win the series 3-1. But thank you for tuning in to game number 1. This has been Robbie Alexander with my colleague Cody Alexander. Until 20 minutes from now, get a drink, maybe a snack, order a pizza. 20 minutes or less, you don't get it for free. But if it's over the 20 minutes, which means if you get that pizza during the first pitch of game number 2, you might get it for free. So a little added element there. But until next time, this has been game number 1 of Bulldog Baseball on ACTV.